Hi everyone, it's Nicole here from My Favorite Things, and this is the January 2015 release rewind. And I have another card I created as a guest designer for My Favorite Things this month, and it showcases several of the new products. First, I'm going to create a Distress Ink Resist background using the new Damask background stamp, and I'm actually stamping it on watercolor paper. I kind of originally thought I might spritz it with water and create some water droplets, but after I applied the Distress ink, I decided I liked it as is, so I left it alone. This is the Tim Holtz watercolor paper, and I'm pressing it to the stamp that I have inked up with some Versamark ink, and I'm just pressing really, really good to make sure I get a good stamped impression. Then I'm taking some Simon Says Stamp white embossing powder. This is their fine embossing powder, and just applying it all over the background. You can kind of see there that beautiful damask background starting to show up as I add the powder to my stamped design. Once I have it covered really, really well, I'll heat that up and I'll be left with a white on white background. Now to create the resist look, I am using the Barn Door Distress ink with the mini ink blending tool, and starting off of the edge of the design and working my way in small circles, I'm going to start applying the ink. And you can see anywhere that I have stamped and embossed with that damask background is resisting the ink, and I think it looks gorgeous. I love how it looks like white lace on top of this red background. So I'm going to ink up the entire background with the Barn Door Distress ink, and you can keep applying ink until you get it as dark as you want it to look. Once I have all of my ink applied, I'm going to go ahead and take a soft cloth or a dry paper towel or something like that, and you want to wipe any of that excess ink that is sitting on top of the embossed area so that you get that really nice bright white stamped and embossed design. Once I have that all wiped off and all that excess ink removed, I'm going to set that aside for a second, and I'm going to take the brand new My Favorite Things Heart Puzzle Dynamics die, and this is an awesome die. It has an embossed part of the image and then a little die cut part, so it's a heart within a heart, and then it looks like puzzle pieces all over the surface of this heart. Then it has an additional little heart design that you can die cut, and I die cut that from some Wild Cherry cardstock. I die cut this heart from the Whipped Cream cardstock. There you can see the puzzle design a little bit better. Then I'm going to take the Wild Cherry My Favorite Things hybrid ink and stamp the word pieces from the Smitten With You stamp set. And then I'll stamp the Love You To using the Black Licorice hybrid ink. And I'm going to stamp both of those right on that awesome puzzle piece heart design. Now, I want a couple of more hearts to go with my puzzle piece heart. And I am going to be using the All My Love stamp set, and I'm going to go ahead and die cut a couple of the hearts from that stamp set using the Dynamics collection that coordinates with it, and then ink those up with the corresponding stamp design. I just love how that looks. I'm going to stamp both of these with Wild Cherry ink on Whipped Cream cardstock. There's lots of beautiful heart designs and shapes and things in this stamp set and dies. Once I have both of those, I can kind of see how I want them to look on my card. And if I wanted to, all I have to do is pop this background onto a A2 card base, and then I could add my hearts, any embellishments that I wanted, and send it. I thought it would look pretty if I kind of matted the background. So I ended up die cutting the background that I created with the stitched rectangle die from the Blueprints 13 die collection. And this is just going to make it a little bit smaller. I could have just trimmed it down if I wanted to as well. I just love the stitching detail of these stitched rectangles. I think it gives it such a nice professional finished edge. So I went ahead and used that to trim it down. You can see it's not cutting off a whole lot, just about 1/4 of an inch. And then I created a card base with a top opening card from some of the Whipped Cream cardstock, and I will mat my background right on there and then add all of my hearts on top. So I think this will be it's kind of a more elegant looking card instead of kind of more fun and whimsical. So I've attached everything, and I thought my solid heart there in the puzzle piece heart needed a little Wink of Stella clear glitter pen, so I'm going to color that all over with my glitter pen. Once I have finished that, I'm going to take some glossy accents and apply it right to that die cut heart. It'll give it a nice shiny raised look once it's dry. I also added some Wink of Stella to the smaller of the two stamped hearts. So I'll attach that to my card base. And one last thing to finish my card, I decided to add a scattering of sequins and gemstones just to kind of finish it off and finish that more elegant looking feel to the whole card. I'm using some Pretty Pink Posh sparkling clear sequins in the 4mm and 6mm size, and I'm just kind of scattering them throughout the card, kind of going from the top right corner to the bottom left. Once I have all of my sequins in place, I went ahead and took some teeny tiny pearl and rhinestone gemstones and placed them in the center of each of the sequins. It gives it just a little bit more finished or polished look, I think. So on the larger 6mm sequins, I used the pearls, and then on all the small 4mm sequins, I am using the teeny tiny clear rhinestones. Grab those with my craft knife. I get asked a lot what I use to pick up my sequin, or my gemstones rather, and I just use a regular craft knife. This is Tim Holtz craft knife from Tonic Studios, and it just helps pick them up off of the backing paper really easy and place them where I want them to go. I hope you've enjoyed this video showcasing brand new products from the January 2015 My Favorite Things release. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Thanks for watching.